Is this top lane Ezreal?
It could be top lane Callista.
True, we could be going back to some of the shy situations.
Yeah, I think that's probably what we're going to see here. You're pivoting really hard with this as Afrika, because when you have the Zoe pick, you're like, okay, well, we need some poke, and then someone's going to have to be able to do consistent damage to finish off targets. So Ezreal is great for that. You're really leaning towards in terms of performance here, but Afrika pivoted the draft big time.
You saw a bit of a back come through for Ghost as well. He's got his Vampiric Scepter. Dread is probably going to see Canyon here, as a bit of a wraparound is going to ensue.
Not until very late, sadly, though.
Keen going to dash on over. There's the flash forward from Canyon. Audacious Charge comes in. That's going to be the dive down. Pillar is there, and Keen's going to be able to jump around it. Khan taking a lot of damage here, as Dread's not going to be able to push too much further forward, but does do really, really well at stopping that gank.
Yeah, that was really well played. Really nice response here from Dread. The pillar's perfectly placed. Keen has to flash, but this is going to be a lot of lost minions.
This is a huge wave, actually. And so Keen not wanting to actually leave. Showmaker is in the area. Zoe's going to get pinged out. They know that Fly is around. But that is still... That's a lot of minions that Keen has lost.
He loses, a decent amount of them, but he actually stabilizes decently well. He's got a lot of sustain at the moment. And Dread's still here.
Yeah, Audacious Charge comes down. Wind does indeed become lightning, as Canyon doesn't have flash, and the pillar is going to be good. But now Keen finds himself in a rough spot. Khan does not find the Shock Blast damage, but he's still going to be able to get first blood. Trades that one back because that Shock Blast didn't hit, as Fly is going to have his Paddle Star block. Showmaker being just a fantastic mid laner, absorbing the damage for his jungler. The Merc Tread's complete. Let's have a look at this gank once again on the top side.
Yeah, Keen flashes here after getting the rend off. Does kind of kite back, but it's really all about Dread.
Oh, the To the Skies was actually interrupted.
Yep. Pillar's
My
perfect.
Goodness.
Keen super well played here. It survives longer. And then you see the, teleport coming through from Fly. Very, very early, comparatively. Yep. And
able to grab that kill.
Actually, Showmaker comes in a little bit faster. My bad on that. I thought Damwon Kia takes Rift Herald priority over Drake, and that's going to lead to gold advantage, possibly first turret like we keep seeing.
That's the Realm Warp, and that should just be a dead Keen underneath this turret. Yep, Khan is going to be able to grab that kill. Canyon gets the tribute and gets out of the turret range, and now
First does have his ultimate available.
Okay, Dread is going to face check Canyon here. I believe does have the pillar, or maybe he used it to check, as there's the Crescent Guard. Wind Becomes Lightning comes in. That's going to be a nice bubble connecting, as Beryl will get the flash out of Dread. Has to invest his own, but I like the aggression, as Fly tidies up the minions here in the mid lane. Getting Dread's flash definitely going to be valuable.
Yeah, that's pretty massive. That's one of the best things to have.
Oh no, there's the flash from Khan. Khan's a jungler, by the way, everyone. He's taking the blue buff on the top side. Now the red buff is going to go over to him as well. He's just having the best time.
And in fact, he gets both.
Yeah.
As, Dread took so much damage and had to flash.
And he stacks a whole wave for this, but they just know that that's where they're going to be.
Yep. He has the ward here, and it's easy cleanup. You have to wonder what the power of the Zoe is going to be later on.
All right, Khan actually going to avoid the knock-up, but still needs to be careful. Pillar goes down. He doesn't have flash. He should just be dead here, but the boot back does come through as Khan's going to flash forward. Looks for Keen, who will get slowed down. Can the martial pose work? The answer's absolutely not, as teleport now will come in. Canyon looks to close the gap, as there's the Realm Warp. We'll get both of them in there. Bunch of minions there as well, and Dread is going to be deserved.
That's easy cleanup.
Well, we've got some ground down as in goes Canyon. Throws out the ultimate, but he's going down relatively low. In they go. Ghost finally in position now as Canyon's burning down. Flashes, but is not going to survive as Khan will finally turn up. Fly will be taken down here as Dread from over to the side, but now the damage comes in. Khan grabs the double kill, and now Dread finds himself on the wrong side of the map, and Damwon's wallets are already so heavy, Wolf.
It's just ridiculous. Dread's going to get slowed here. His pillar's coming up soon, but I don't think it's going to matter. It might delay the inevitable.
As it turns out, Ash pretty good at chasing people down if they're in range, and that is going to be the ace at 20 minutes on the dot.
Especially champions that don't really have great escapes. It's just going to be straight to the Baron from this team fight. And Canyon takes one for the team. He's over here clearing vision, and he comes in, gets a knock-up, and he knows his team's going to be there for him. You can see a picture-in-picture of the Baron is being taken uncontested. True Shot Barrage here only doing a little bit of damage really to Barrel, and then Khan shows up and he's like, this fight is over, by the way. You're not allowed to be here. Showmaker doing tons of damage. It's just, like you said, the wallets are too heavy and enough time is bought. Canyon dies, but the rest of the team succeed. And I believe they got the Baron yet. You could see it there on the picture-in-picture. Easy cleanup on that one because Afrika cannot even contest. Fusion has not been great.
Yeah, also, you know, Fly playing the Zoe has just not really found too much success recently as well as Canyon. Gonna go down relatively low. Let's see whether Damwon here can pull this one back as they were all stacked up. The arrow connects onto 4 people, but the Fate's Call is good. Finally, Khan comes in, and now the damage is starting to rain down. Ghost full of spears right now, but should be able to kite back relatively effectively, and that was a barrage. Does not connect there onto the bubbled target, which is a little bit unfortunate. Khan going to survive with a lot of health. It's now Canyon. Yeah, in a lot of trouble. Crescent Guard comes out. Great Pillar is going to be there. They do manage to lay down the CC as a lot of time was bought there by Canyon, but I don't think there's going to be any follow-up here as another bubble will connect, but Khan is able to get out of it in time. Like a very difficult task for Afrika as this Baron is going down extraordinarily quickly. Lehens does get the bad news as Dread puts down the pillar. You can see Ghost and Beryl in a bit of trouble here as the Baron is going to be traded for the support. There is a lot of poke damage though as in goes Canyon once again. They're trying to get Afrika in position as they've lost one. So it is a 4 versus 5 that Afrika do not want to take up against this Baroned up Damwon.
The bottom inhibitor is still down for 30, so with this Baron buff, they can continue to push even without Beryl. He did exactly what he needed to do, was just block them from getting the Baron, pulling a little bit of a Snorlax right now, and just making sure they can't get in there, as we're going to see Canyon.
Yeah, I think they certainly had the poker flute because they were able to take him down.
Yeah, he's just sitting there like, sorry, can't clear without that item.
Yeah, but unfortunately they were in battle with the Snorlax, so couldn't get to the Rayquaza that was coming up afterwards.
Should have pulled a Sudowoodo instead, I guess.
Yeah, they did it better in Gen 2, everyone knows. As Afrika now just trying to defend, and they will be able to at least keep their mid inhibitor alive, and their bot one has just respawned as well, as you alluded to. Looks like it's just going to be Soul Point taken as a bit of a consolation prize here for Damwon. Yep, 3-2 push. As, okay, that is a bubble connecting onto Showmaker, who's in so much trouble, will just be taken down to 0.
You know, like,
remember,
the Showmaker here is just very greedy, ends up getting slept, and he flashes to try to buffer, but unfortunately with all the burst damage here and the great Trundle Pillar, Beryl can't save him. Nobody could stop that from that Rise from dying. So, see if he can hit this one.
Oh, yeah, Lehens might have to be sent back home.
He's blocked one too many.
Yeah. There's now Dread off to the side. Fly was backing as the arrow's going to connect onto the Trundle. Wind becomes lightning, comes in. It's a fantastic stun from Beryl. And then Khan, he's going to rotate around. Lehens not going to be escaping this one. He's going to get stunned as well as Ghost is there to finish that one off. And now Afrika are just falling like dominoes. Leo trying to get back to the base, but that is 1,000 damage to his head from Showmaker. And now he's going to start working on the Nexus turrets. He is done with this game, and I think Afrika are going to have to vacate it as well. It's a 13,000 gold lead. It has been for the majority of this game, but finally, Damwon here are going to finish.
All it takes is one blow up on the Trundle, and that's unfortunately Lehens is just not nearby to peel because he took so much damage right before from those shock blasts. The Showmaker is going to bring the minions into the fountain, and it was really just one. Showmaker's damage is somewhat low because he spent most of the game just pushing minion waves and playing the macro game and trying to kill inhibitors rather than killing champions, because Afrika just kind of sat back because that's all they could do. Like, Fly is like, give me my Horizon focus. Leo's like, give me my third item. Finally gets his Frozen Hearts. Not enough to save them, but it was a good. My biggest concern is whenever Beryl is playing this champion, he either extremely excels and crushes and you're like, that's it, that's the Beryl I love, or overextends, often gets caught, looks for optimistic engages and gets punished a lot, and the enemy team ends up getting a lot out of the pick.
It now has with Fate's Call. But in the laning phase, this bottom lane should not exist for Damwon Kia. They have to play so far back.
And you could just see how much they're being zoned out. And I mentioned the Rumble not being that scary, but...
Oh no, now he gets zoned out of all of this experience? Oh, it's an absolute disaster. Another face breaker comes in. Lehens stuck around for a little bit too long as Beryl tanks up the turret. Dread's moving on down here as we've got teleports from absolutely everyone. The double flashes, but Canyon's not making it out of this one. First blood will go to Keen on the top side.
Khan's like, oh man, really?
Well, both of these solo laners from Damwon have teleport and decided, nah. Not Keen.
I think that for Fly, you know, he's like, well, I just don't know if I really need to be there because there's no extension.
Oh, no, Lehens. Well, there's the flash forward. Ghost will be able to get the rend, but he might burn down for it. Yep, that's a cash in from Leo. It's a bit of an early one, but that's all right. Showmaker will now use his teleport as, Leo's not making it out of that one, but
so that's going to be quite nice. And this is so telegraphed, and it's so obvious that this is coming, that it gives Afrika a lot of time to actually react here. And Lehen's living means a lot of turret shots are tanked extremely early in the game. And the flash timing here is actually really nice, but Dread saves his pillar. They catch Canyon, so it's a first blood going over to Keen. And this is unfortunately just really greedy from Lehens and Leo. Yeah, they do trade it back, but it probably should not have happened in the first place. You just don't have any vision on the brush. You can't know for sure they're gone.
Yeah, here's another fight on the bottom side. As Barrel's going to punch the Draven to death, as now Lehens underneath this turret without a teammate is going to be in a lot of trouble as Canyon, he's snuck into this brush. Harpoon is going to miss, but Lehens knows that there's not really too many options for him. He's trying to get out of the way of the bottom lane as Barrel speeds himself up, but it should be Lehens getting underneath this turret, but not able to get over towards these minions.
To follow flash, but now he knows that Khan has no flash, so that's actually really amazing for Keen. I'm going to watch this moment once again. So this is just insane facebreaker value. Barrel just is like, okay, well, you're doomed. No matter which way you walk, true damage or no, I'm pretty sure you're dead.
Means that there's just no way that there's a response from Afrika, as there's a flash facebreaker from Barrel. He's only level 4, so we're not going to have any ults, but he still has the Haymaker, but he's sort of by himself, which is a bit awkward. That's a great pillar to confirm the kill.
Duality of Barrel.
Yes, that is some very Barrel action going on there.
I mean,
than game number 1. So good news for Afrika fans is, speaking of which, Fly's trying to get out of this one.
And he's like, what is he doing? I got him. Like, he's like, he's dead. Like, and he doesn't even flash. He's just completely calm. Doesn't even use his ultimate.
Well, Barrel going to come down here, gets another flash. Fate's Call comes through. Ghost is going to get his support out of trouble. That is going to get a flash and a teleport out of Afrika. You'll take that any day of the week.
Yep. Ends up being pretty massive.
Still not out of the woods just yet, as Afrika have about a 300 gold lead. And Canyon still sitting on this Rift Herald, actually looking to try and invest at bottom lane by the looks of things. As Dread is spotted, the Rumble out of the picture for the moment. Dredgeline comes on in, but Barrel may just die. Does get the Haymaker down in time, but can't actually ulti, as the Equalizer does basically nothing, and King comes through and says, nope, you're not throwing it down here.
Yeah, that was actually really well played from Afrika. You know you can isolate the set. It is support set, right, who's at this point very low level. I think
he has
7.
He actually used the Rift Herald right now.
Yeah, he has to. Goes Essence Reaver first, by the way. That's the build start here. Going to go into Immortal Shield Bow for survivability. Uh-oh!
Yeah, Facebreaker onto Dread. He is super dead. Canyon's going to be able to grab that kill, and Showmaker is delivered the blue buff. Everything working out here for Damwon. The trophy that he throws down one of the skins, I believe.
Well, Afrika are really desperately trying to clear this vision right now because they know that if they try to just do the Drake alone, they're going to have a problem, and this actually it works well for them.
Well, another Equalizer comes through as Barrel's going to find the Facebreaker onto Lehens. There's the Fate's Call as they really want to take down the Draven, and they do so. They get the flash out of Lehens as well as Khan dives on forward. And after getting that one pick, we'll see what Damwon Kia can actually collect for themselves, as that's a Shockwave, only lands onto Canyon, and the follow-up is not quite there.
I mean, it was looking really good for Afrika. They got the solo Drake. They're clearing a lot of this vision, but there are consequences when you just split. Dread?
Yeah, it's a lot of damage from Showmaker, but he didn't want to invest too much more, as Barrel's going to get, once again, pillared. Missed. As Barrel spots both Dread and Lehens. Good vision here on the bottom side for Damwon to make sure they don't overextend.
Got to be decisive here,
Dread's
Afrika.
Gonna get his face broken. There's an Equalizer. Showstopper still on top of the Equalizer, but Dread flashes away, but into the open arms of the rest of Damwon. Keen not able to get in as Showmaker is just saying no, protecting his Gnar. And now the jungler is dead. Let's see what Damwon Kia can make happen.
You had just for a moment a number advantage, but unfortunately Dread way overextending there. The rest of the team not on the same page here. Fly needs to be tossing ultimates in and looking for opportunities if he's just never going to use it unless he has the perfect option to get a big one onto 3 or 4. Why are you fighting? Why are you even in this part of the jungle?
Goodness. Canyon hurts.
Trundle's dead, and they're just going to fight this. I mean, or they're going to start this, rather. And I don't think Afrika have a great option to fight. Fly has his ultimate. That's it.
Well, he's in position. Okay, there's a haymaker from Beryl, who's just going to get fates called at the last possible moment. Buys all the time in the world as Showmaker keeps himself alive, going for the 1v1, goes golden. Keen does the same thing. The Baron is secured by Damwon, as Keen's now looking to reset around this fight, but no, it's not going to happen. Canyon realizes that he has to get out. He's the last remaining Baron that's going to be available, as the Callista will get cashed in on by Leo. So, Damwon lose the fight, but they get a Baron.
They get the Baron. Canyon's going to hold it. The spawn is up here for Dread, and this is going to be the first opportunity that Afrika have had to really threaten those Nexus buildings this entire series. Now the Baron buff, completely nullified here. They're just going to push mid. And this was a really, really weak moment here for Damwon Kia in terms of setting up the turn. They just really didn't do it at all.
And I think Spotted actually on vision right now. Damwon continuing to just try and frustrate the Dragon a little.
They're trying to turn on the barrel, but this means Damwon actually could pull them on both ends. So well played here from Damwon Kia.
Yeah. Drake is going to reset. Gets back into the pit right now. Fly.
Equalizer's up.
Yeah, throwing the orb around, but now the Orianna going to be a little bit further away from this one. Equalizer goes down. Soul point picked up by Afrika, and the Equalizer not exactly getting the value that they really want. Depth charge going to be used here as the Blade World flies through. The Whirling Death, I should say, as in goes Khan, finds the double Gnar into the wall, and the face breaker's beautiful as well, but on the back line, the Viego is popping off. Diving on forward, looking for even more as Beryl's Haymaker does basically nothing, and now Showmaker, he has to realm warp himself out of there. He's going to do so. And Khan also just trying to hightail it out of there, and Afrika are just winning these team fights over and over again.
This team fight is a massive win for them. They get the soul point. Oh, do they find Khan? Just barely not. He had been channeling that for a while. Got away with the greedy back here, will escape. Showmaker's going to go for some side laning. But that fight, that last fight, was Afrika playing it out so patiently, just knowing their win condition was the reset.
Showmaker. Well, he's got his Zhonya's, but he decides not to use it.
Yeah, he's not. It's only going to buy time. As you say, is going to close half
There's
the gap.
not many people here, as it's going to be Khan left behind. Okay, Equalizer goes down. Leo tries to get out of the pit, but Lehens is going to be taken down, and Afrika are just getting macro destroyed right now.
Yeah, this was a really bad choice for Afrika. It might actually cost them the game.
Oh no, this is
Baron
just Baron going over, and Damwon have picked up this game and said, no, it said on the packet it belonged to us.
Oh, one more chance here. Fly, let's see that go.
Yeah, they're going to have to find it as Showmaker flashes forward. They do manage to get the stopwatch out of Fly, as that's going to be Beryl going down. Showmaker is so extraordinarily low. The double kill for the Draven as Ghost picks up the Baron and hops over the wall. So yes, Damwon grabbed the Baron yet again. But Beryl, he's
once
again get caught by Lehens. Dread's here. There's the Whirling Death as Beryl. Can he get in? No, he can't. And unfortunately, they're just going to have to say goodbye as Keen's down here.
Oh
Khan
no,
is
Showmaker.
in a lot of trouble. As, yep, Showmaker is going to be found by Keen, but walks out of the shockwave. The Heartbreaker comes in. Showmaker trying to get his health back, but he's not going to survive. And now Ghost trying to run away from this one as well. And Lehens, he has the sick flank. 5 members against the Callista. Yeah, I think we know who wins that one. And Damwon Kia have fallen apart.
Now this is probably just game winning.
Well, Damwon Kia committing. As you can see, the Viego is going to teleport in, but he's going to be a little bit further away. Ghost is going to get picked out first. That is not what you want, as he's in the bouncy house. Goes down, as you can see that the Orianna does so much damage. Ghost trying to flash away, but Leo says, no, I'm getting my revenge. And he absolutely will. This game is over, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to a game 5 as Showmaker looks to try and draw it out for as long as possible, but I don't think he's going to be able to. That's going to be the ace. and that is a very large dragon on top of a Draven pushing up this mid lane.
I like how you put it Game 5 because it certainly feels like we've watched 4 games in 2. We've seen 4 games in 2, haven't we, with how long these went, but Afrika are going to close it out at the end of the day. And look, I mean, that last fight was pretty desperate for Damwon and Kia. You're between like, well, now I can't use my Gnar bar appropriately anymore. And then Keen's like, well, I'm going to get resets, I'm going to kill people. Not to mention that Damwon and Kia lost a lot of those team fights with kind of weird extraneous.
Does have a bit herself.
I think both options are really good. Like, I don't think one was necessarily better than the other, actually, in this case. But I personally think that for Afrika's playstyle, where you're going to play aggressive early, you're going to play around those mid-game fights with this Renekton comp, with Keen piloting this game very likely and how the tempo goes.
So there are so many options here for Afrika with this composition. I think that the draft really has worked out very well for them. Like, Tahm Kench is really strong, even if he doesn't do what he used to do. As in he goes, almost within turret range, and really wanting to push Afrika away.
It's a very barrel champion.
But this is hyper-aggressive. Ghost has to use the cleanse as he's trying to escape Leo out of range of these autos. As Beryl, he might be the one in trouble now, but both of them do get out, but they're going to have to go back.
Does avoid that minion from getting slammed into him there. Otherwise, it's just going to go back to regular Renekton form, and this kind of slower matchup now will continue. The Bramble Vest being done here for Khan is amazing for him. It's going to give him so much more. And every time you try to trade, you're actually losing your sustain in the lane. No 6 for Canyon yet, so I don't think he's going to commit, but he sees King go through.
Yep, that's the stun. Let's see whether Khan can actually survive until Canyon gets here. Keen now looking for the Scion. As, oh dear, he's going to get slowed and knows that he's dead. Wants to be able to get in range, but it's not going to happen. First blood goes over to Damwon Kia. I respect what Keen went for there, but a very unfortunate time to go in.
Yeah, doesn't waste his flash, just knows he's dead. And unfortunately, with the cooldown of that stun, you're just not going to be able to flash forward and kill Khan. He's so tanky. He has the Bramble Vest, so it's a lose-lose scenario, and unfortunately, Keen's aggression here gets punished.
Yep. Also, Unstoppable Onslaught is available here for the Scion as well, so he can stop the rotation over. Decimating Smash is going to land onto the Crocodile, as Afrika are a little bit split. Good lick of tongue there from Beryl as the arrow will connect towards the backline, but Showmaker still able to distort out. Keen getting crushed by Khan, whose health bar is just starting to get gigantic. Ghost with the Fate's Call. Lehen splashes on forward though, as Khan wants to be able to get in here to help out. The Rift Herald was taken by Canyon, I believe, but it looks like Afrika are finding the team fight. The Thrall's working out. Leo looking for Showmaker off to the side as well. And Afrika, the team fighting between Game 2 and now, just looking so good.
And this is why their comp is so strong in the mid game. That's why they build around this Renekton so well with this team fight. Watch it back. Just really well played. Now, yes, you do see the engage come through from the Leona first. So Lehen's is actually the first one to actually set this up, as he goes for the flash here onto Ghost, and he's so survivable, it allows Dread the follow-up. And look at Khan, he's like, oh no, he has to flash over the wall to try to get the knock-up here to turn this fight, but Keen is like, no, now I'm well and truly online. This is not a fight between you and me anymore. Fly's got a nice follow-up. His tomb was nice, too, and the engage. I mean, that's the wombo combo.
That's exactly what they picked it for, right?
Yeah. This is the mid-game power that you want to see from Afrika. If it's just a second earlier.
And based on compositions, it just feels like the more advantages Afrika get, the more exponentially good it gets.
Exactly.
As Fly now going to get turned on. Sorry, Khan going to get turned on. The arrow from downtown will make sure the Scion cannot participate. Maybe not respecting Afrika quite enough, as there's a Solar Flare going to connect onto Ghost as Beryl. Now level 6 does have the Devour, as teleports are coming through. Beryl gets thrown back, has some grey health, as Showmaker trying to keep himself alive. Ghost doing the same thing as he hops himself out of the way. Good cleanse as Fly now able to get himself out. The flash forward from Beryl, trying to lick Fly to death, but it's not going to work, and Showmaker just doesn't quite have the damage. Frozen Thrall's even doing a whole host of work, and Afrika just team fighting so beautifully. An arrow comes back up, and Khan eats it again.
Khan just here to donate a little bit more gold over to the Afrika Freaks. And in that fight, Dread was about, I'd say, maybe 8 or 9 seconds away from his ultimate when he decided to come through. You try to force fights like this one, especially with a teleport commitment there, it's just a disaster how much gold you give. It's a flash engage on the Ghost because he doesn't know he's spotted on a ward. Has the follow-up Xenoblade perfectly done here. And look how late Canyon is to the party here. Yeah, Barrel's like, I'm just going to try to save. I've got Fate's Call. I'm going to buy time. Wait, Khan can't teleport in because he'll be interrupted. So by the time Khan gets here, it's all over. Like, Renekton teleports in first. You can see Khan at the top of your screen, comes in, but it's just too late. And now he's here to die as Dread holds his ultimate to the last possible second.
And Showmaker just does no damage.
Yeah. As
we saw, like, if this LeBlanc had been able to pick up a couple of kills in the early game, then maybe Arrow is going to connect onto Canyon there, just barely, as Khan was trying to take the Rift. Scuttler is going to be able to do so, but it should mean that Canyon is dead. He does use his Crescent Guard, as Leo's going to take a fair bit of damage, and Khan decides instead he wants to turn into a train. Ghost is going to get himself out of the way.
How do you lose this? How do you mess this up? I just don't see it possible. I think Damwon Kia actually should probably give this up, but it feels like a lose-lose. Barrel.
Ooh. Yeah, that's the listing lazily to the south as there's the Abyssal Dive. They're going to get straight on top of Leo as Showmaker finds the chains. Barrel finds the Fate's Call, and now he's flashing after Dread. The exhaust goes down, and maybe we cast a blessed Damwon. I'm not entirely sure, but Dread's definitely dead. Ghost might burn down, as there's the big old shield that you now get from the Devour, as another Abyssal Dive comes through for a big knock-up, but Barrel may actually die here. Canyon's going to get exploded. Big knock-up from Khan as Showmaker off to the side. Keen knows that he's the target they need to go for, but Afrika, once everyone gets there, Damwon still in with a fight at the moment. Looking for some extra poke. Wind becomes lightning, not going to connect there.
Showmaker doing a little bit of poke himself, you know, before this Mountain Soul is up. Like, he can do a lot.
Well, Khan also standing as that stalwart wall in front of Afrika here, as now they're going to start this fight off. The arrow is not going to connect as Afrika just dive on forward. Ghost now going to continue actually dancing through, and they have so much CC. Fly goes gold, and the Moonfall is massive as Dread picks up the backline. The bottom lane are just going to be obliterated as Showmaker tries to get out of here, but Afrika, they have almost everyone still alive. Dread's going to trade places with Canyon as Showmaker finishes him off in the end, but Afrika will still be able to get the Mountain Soul, and I think this is really going to put them in a great position to win.
I mean, it's so hard to win from here on out. This was your last chance, and Showmaker did everything he could in that fight. I mean, literally everything. He played it basically perfectly. Did a lot of poke before the fight started. Lived until the end. Did the damage there when Ghost was collapsed on. And Khan did a lot of peeling, right? The Gargoyle Stone Plate activated very late on in the fight. You can see how much Khan is actually able to do here. But it just doesn't matter when Dread is able to set up for such a perfect engage. And this is the one time Showmaker overextends a little bit trying to hit Dread and doesn't have his W at this moment in time. And when the knockup hits, if he can go in there, maybe blow up Fly, that's one way you win this fight. But unfortunately, it's just not enough. And Khan buys so much time. But the wallets are too heavy. There's too much damage here.
And also, the fact that Ghost was just barely in range of that Moonfall as well was massive. I don't know. It feels like Afrika have really put themselves in a phenomenal position to win.
It's like
this
checkmate.
game.
Yeah. It's like how do you lose? Like I mentioned earlier, how do you lose this Soul Point fight? How do you lose this Baron fight now?
Well, for Damwon, there's quite a few ways. This is potentially one of them, as Canyon's going to get dove on. The arrow is going to land onto the Tahm Kench, but you can see the Devour has to be used very early in this fight. Khan is tanking up a lot of damage as Ghost trying to get some hits in. Fly going to ult himself for 0 damage, and that's definitely high value, as there's the pullback. Barrel's going to take way too much, and he's going to get taken out. But to lose just Barrel, it's probably the best a team fight's gone for Damwon so far.
Yeah, and I mean, they were desperate. They had to try to make a play there. Otherwise, they end up losing the Baron because Dread was already starting it.
Yeah, Khan going to move on in here.
Really nice position.
Certainly is a pretty good front line, but there's the decimating smash. Arrow once again going to connect onto the Tahm Kench as Fly. They're just biding their time. They're waiting for their opportunity as in he goes. Looking for even more, but Canyon is going to go golden, and now Fly going to have to ult himself once again. Good flash out there from Ghost as the Moonfall doesn't do a whole lot, but that's a triple kill for the Crocodile. Make it a quadra. Now Khan is just walking around as a zombie, and everyone dives on top of Showmaker. He's trying to escape, but Leo's going to finish off the ace, and Afrika will march down the mid lane.
Yeah, so Showmaker's just playing the last game of his promos, and it's not going well. I mean, he is playing as well as he can. I mean, well and truly basically played every aspect of his game perfectly. But at the end of the day, with all the cards stacked against him, how good is perfect really? Damwon Kia going to end up losing this third game in pretty fiery fashion. Fly on his highest win rate champion, gets his 1,000th kill and will upset yet another of our top 3. Afrika taking out Genji, now taking out Damwon Kia.
Yeah, Canyon's going to come in and try and save things, but he is just going to die. He's going to have to watch his Nexus go down as well, as Damwon are starting to respawn, and there are some lower health bars, but I just don't know whether it's going to be enough, as Leo's untouched and Afrika reverse sweep. Especially looked like they were getting in there, but Leo just demonstrating that if you throw arrows off cooldown and hit lots of people with them, you do a fair bit of work, as it turns out.
Canyon just really not.
Guys, this is Jason with the POG interview translation. And here joined by Keen Fly, especially Keen being the second place on the POG standings. Afrika, once again, you guys are breaking the mismatch. How are you feeling, Keen? We have been, struggling to beat Genji and Damwon Kia. So I was expecting a very tough match, even though if we get to win, and as I expected, it was a bit rough. Fly, congratulations on picking up your 1,000th victory as well. How are you feeling? Well, I wasn't sure whether we could win. And I heard that I got 1,000th kill, so I'm a little bit flustered. I just heard it. I guess Fly wasn't really paying attention to that. I had no idea. Speaking of kills, Keen, at the very end, you said, you guys are not giving me the penta? So, Keen, tell us about the situation, because you looked so calm during that team fight. Because we were on a very dicey situation, we never knew who's gonna win the game. So after we got all the kills and we got the ace, I just wanted to tell how I feel to my teammates finally. Fly, is that true that he paid attention to the victory as a whole? No, I just heard it. I didn't even hear that he said, "Give me the penta." And Keen, you guys are so good at taking down the strong teams. What kind of preparation and feedback did you guys have? Yeah, I don't know either. I don't know what happened to us, but just in the LCK, on the stage, we got lucky and we were able to grab the win. I don't think it's about the luck, because you guys were able to, change your playstyle and the pattern. In game number 1, we had a very unexpected draft. In game number 1, you guys focused on the early game. Later on, in game 2 and 3, you guys focused on the late game. Was that something, you guys discussed after game number 1? Well, looking at the early game, mid game, and the late game, we didn't really pay attention to the each sections. We just decided to look into the given draft. And about Kalista, Dread made some mistakes. It was a bummer that I lost that game.
저희가 사실 칼리스타 픽밴을 보면서 사실 이게 의도한 게 아니라 조금 급하게 바꿨나라는 생각이 조금 들었었거든요. 혹시 의도하고 칼리스타를 준비해 오셨던 건가요?
Something that you guys prepared, actually. I've never played it in scrims, but it's always open for me, anytime. And we have a lot of turnaround victory, reverse sweep from Afrika Frick, something you guys were not able to accomplish in the past. What kind of change did you guys make in order to become a new team? It's not about the change, it's about, coaching staff coming with better draft. Afrika, especially Fly, being super humble and sharing some credits with the coaching staff as well. Game 3, Fly, you took down Showmaker's undefeated 5-0 LeBlanc with Lissandra. Tell us about the midline matchup. Well, 1v1, LeBlanc wins, but if Lissandra can, hit the late game without any accidents, she can outplay LeBlanc later. But why are we not seeing a lot of Lissandra into LeBlanc here in the LCK? Because it's a very well-known and proven matchup as a counter. I don't know. I don't know what other team thinks, A very correct and exact answer from Fly. And with the kill on Tompkins, you earned your 1000th kill in the LCK. Since your debut in 2014, you accomplished a lot of milestones. Is there any other record that you are looking forward to hit?
없습니다.
No.
한 번의 경기에 집중하겠다.
네, 제가 아는 플라이 선수 돌아온 것 같아요.
Gorilla saying the good old fly that I know is back.
돌아온 것 같습니다. 네.
네. 그럼 기인 선수
기인.
이제 그 상대가 탐켄치 뽑았을
So he had Tompkins from Damwon Kia, and considering the matches that happened in other regions, we also thought Tompkins top could be open as well. What do you think about that? With the Tompkins hover, yeah, I also thought this could be a Kench top, but thankfully he didn't come to the top lane because he's strong in lane. So I was a little bit worried about it, but I'm glad he actually was flexed down on the bottom lane. Will you show us some Kench top later? I'm practicing it, you know, maybe later in the future.
그렇죠. 그리고 이제 기인 선수의 그 비에고를 또 얘기 안
Kiin,
했잖아요. 비에고만
we also
보면
want to
기인
talk about
선수
your
진짜
Viego.
최고의 비에고가 아닌가
I think you
싶을
are the
정도로
best
그런
Viego
좋은
player in the
팁이
LCK.
있을까요?
Any tips for playing that champion? Just use the mid throw. That's the biggest part of playing Viego, and that's a basic mechanism. A freak of freaks, you guys have to continue this winning streak in order to solidify your spot in the playoffs. Your next opponent will be DRX. We are on a 2-match winning streak. I hope we can add another win and extend the winning streak.
네, 저도 마찬가지로
Same.
하루하고 대회인데
We only have one day to rest, so I hope we can get some good rest and come back to the Low Park with great performance. And this will be the end of the interview from the Africa Freaks players. I'm going to pass it back to our casters. Thank you.